No, it's not time to quit. It's not time to give up. It is time to dig in and do the work. Let's talk about it. Hey, it's Zenobia Porter, Soul Care Certified Coach and the founder of the TruEndeavors movement, and I am here with you on Wednesday Wisdom. I know you're used to getting Monday Wisdom from me, but I thought it would be more wise to change this thing to Wednesday. So Wednesday Wisdom is what you're getting. Wednesday Wisdom is what you can expect from here on out. So today what I want to talk to you about is not giving up hope on the change that you're praying for, the change that you're trying to create. All right, so I want to encourage you not to give up on the course. I don't want to encourage you to stay the course. Stay with me, okay? But what I do want to encourage you to do is to make a shift in the course that you're taking. And one of the first ways you can do this, and probably I think all of these ways are going to be significantly important, but what I want you to do is let go. Let go of this need to control the way the process of change looks. Okay, we have got to stop focusing on what we have to do to make this change happen in ourselves, to make this change happen in the people around us. We know how great these people can be. We know how much they can achieve and how much better they can do. And so we are trying to force this change on them. We are taking on the role of being the agent of change for people. That is not your job. Let that go, because as long as you are trying to do that, all you are doing is setting yourself up for failure. You are creating, you are instigating a worse situation, and you are being a hindrance or even a block to the blessing that leads to the change that you want to see in yourself, your environment, and the people that around you that you are wanting to see changes in, because you are not equipped to create any change in anybody or anything. This is the sole work of God. So what I would like to encourage you to do first and foremost is get outside of God's shoes. Stop trying to wear his shoes. Stop trying to do his job. Get out of his business, okay? Keep his business on your mind. Keep his business on your heart. Know that he is doing a work in the area that you are praying for, but get out of the way, because you trying to be in control of this thing is you getting in the way of what he is trying to do. And if you really care about that situation, if you really care about that person, if you really care about making that growth and seeing that transformation inside of yourself, then you will want to get out of the way. You will want to release it and let the one and only who is the best equipped, that knows the situation and that person and you inside and out, to take control. But as long as you keep trying to grab the reins from him, as long as you keep jumping in front of him, trying to block him from situations that God is sending their way, or people God might be sending their way that can trigger the change that he wants to do this work in, as long as you are playing goalie to all of those things, then you are the one getting in the way of the change that you want to see. Let go. Let go of the control. I promise you, the world might feel or even seem like it's crashing down around you, but it is not. It is falling together, not falling apart. Trust God enough to be the change that you want to see, to send the change, to orchestrate the change, to create the change that you want to see. And trust him enough to trust the timing of it. Okay? It's not about what you see or when you see it. It's about who you see, who you know, and what you believe about who you see and who you know. Who you're keeping your eyes on. Are you keeping your eyes on God? Or are you keeping your eyes on what the enemy is doing in this space? You're keeping your eyes on how he is orchestrating this and orchestrating that, but not keeping your eyes on God enough to trust him to thwart any and every attempt that the enemy has against any prayer that you are sending your way. He is not that powerful. He cannot stop any change that God has sent a command to create. He cannot do any of those things in your life or anybody else's life that you are praying for. Trust God. Let go of the control, because you have none. It is an appearance of control. It is a trap of the enemy to make you think that you are actually doing something when the only thing that you are doing is getting in the way. Let it go. Keep praying about it. Keep listening to God for what he says in response to the prayers that you are sending his way. And then be obedient on the instruction that he gives you, on the instruction that you hear. That's the first thing. The second thing that I have for you to do after releasing control, or while releasing control, because that's going to be a process, right? None of this is a light switch. None of this is something you just switch on and bam, you got it. It's going to be things that you catch yourself doing and you just repent for, and you just bring yourself back and you let it go. So it's going to be a process. It's going to be a muscle that you're building of letting go of control. This is something that I really, really struggled with, and that I still have to check myself on, but I have gotten so much better on, and I have seen so much more movement from God because I got out of the way. All right. So the second thing is release the need to see your desired outcome. This falls in line with surrender. Surrender it. Surrender. You do not have to get your way. It doesn't have to look the way you want it to look for it to be good. It doesn't have to look the way that you want it to look for it to be healing, for it to be transformative, for it to birth change in yourself, your environment, or other people. When we expect it to look a certain way and we cling to that desired outcome, then when God is sending it in a different way or making it look a different way, we will say he's not doing anything, he's not hearing my prayer, or he's ignoring my prayer, or he's not who he says he is, or you're still waiting on a promise that has already been fulfilled, and therefore you're stuck still in this space and not unable to move forward and build on the promise that he has delivered to you because it doesn't look the way you wanted it to look. Release your desired outcome. If you trust God, trust him enough to know that whatever he gives you is good and is meant for your good. It is meant for your good. He has plans for you, plans to prosper you. The outcome must be a part of his plan to prosper you. It might not feel good. It might not be what you want it to be. It might make you feel like you are breaking down, but what he may be doing in that space, because the outcome doesn't look like what you wanted it to look like, what he might be actually doing is breaking stuff off of you, not breaking you up, but breaking stuff up off of you so that you can be free enough to experience the better outcome that he has in mind for you. Release your desired outcome. Surrender. Surrender. And that's hard to do. That takes a lot of trust. That takes a lot of trust to know that if I let this, what I have built for myself, if I allow all of it to fall apart, I am trusting God to give me better and to build something better for me, to send me to a promised land that is way better than what I have settled for, way better than what I have created for myself. It takes trust to do that. Do you trust him? Do you believe his word? Do you believe his word is true? Do you believe what he said to you? Or is it just rhetoric? Is it just rhetoric that you're standing on? If you're going to be in this thing, be in this thing. If you're going to believe what God says, believe what God says. If you are seeking him, seek him. If you want him to move in your life, let him move in your life. You don't get to dictate what that looks like, but you will be blessed by it. It is a process. During my mental health crisis in 2018, I felt like my entire world was falling apart. I felt so broken. I was so heartbroken. I was so scared. I was so terrified. I was so lost. I was confused. I didn't even know who I was anymore. I didn't know anything. I was in a state of constant irrational fear known as anxiety, and I was in a dark pit of darkness known as depression. But who would have known that that was part of God's plan to prosper me? Because I went through that, because he broke off the things that I did not need, the things that I was clinging to for life, as though they were life-giving, but they were really killing me on the inside. He broke those things off of me. And as he broke those things off of me, with me expecting him to fix those things on me or make those things better on me, not knowing that I needed to be free from them, but because he broke those things off of me, I felt pain because I was holding on to my desired results. I felt pain because his deliverance and his movements that I was praying for didn't look like what I thought it should look like. This can't be God. It hurts too much. But what he was doing was freeing me from the pain that I was creating in myself. He was detoxing me from what I was taking in, what I was breathing in to give me life, so that he could be the source of life for me. The freedom that I experience today, I would not be experiencing if I did not go through that moment. If I didn't go through that season, if he didn't break those things off of me that I thought I needed, if he didn't completely show up for me in a way that I was not expecting him to show up, if he had showed up in the way that I desired him to show up, if he had given me the outcome that I desired, I would still be captive. I would still be captive to broken relationships. I would still be captive to fear, to show up and be perfect in everything that I do. I would still be captive to image and all of the things that the world has put out there. I would still be fighting to protect those things. But none of those things matter. And none of those things have power over me anymore because he broke those things off of me. The level of pain, the level of stress and anxiety that I went through as a result of that breaking off was not because he didn't care, but it was because I was holding on so tight to what my desired result should look like, to the outcome. And because I didn't recognize it as God freeing me, I resisted and I cried and I broke down, still waiting for him to show up, not realizing that he was already in the midst. Release, let go of your desired outcome. Let go of what you think this thing should look like. And then the third and final thing in terms of this Wednesday wisdom is to continue doing a work on yourself. You need something to do. You've let go of the control of it, right? You've released what you feel this outcome should look like. So what else are you going to do? You're going to work on yourself. And you work on yourself by working on your relationship with God. Settle in. Nestle into him. Cuddle up with him and let him talk to you about his word. Let him speak to you about what he's doing in your life. Let him teach you what his voice sounds like. Let him teach you what movement looks like to him when he's showing up. Experience God in this moment of healing. Experience God in this moment of growth and transformation. Work on yourself. Work on your relationship with him. Let him be the soothing agent. Let him be your calming person, that as he's taking these unnecessary things off that you have become addicted to, that you do not feel the extreme effects of withdrawal that you can get from addiction as he is removing these things from you, as he is freeing you, as he is shifting. And maybe he shows up and makes this thing look the way you want it to look. Maybe he does. And maybe he doesn't. But either way, as long as you are in his presence, in his space, and you are constantly being aware of him, and you are constantly listening for his voice, you are constantly going to him for the calming and the soothing and the comfort that you need as things are shifting and changing around you, as people that you might live with are resisting the changes that God is creating, and you don't want to be pulled into that, you go to God, you settle in him. You work on yourself by working on your relationship with him, so that as the world changes around you, as God delivers you and moves you into a new space, you will be ready. It won't feel like your world is falling apart. It'll just feel like it's changing. Will you do it? I hope that you will. Do the work. Shift the course. Do not give up. Do not quit. It's time to dig in. Get it done. God has so much in store for you. He has so much planned for you. He loves you so very deeply. Partner with him. Trust him, rest in him, and let him create the change that you've been praying for. I'll see you guys next time. Be blessed and stay true. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, turn those notifications on, and check these videos out here. I'll talk to you soon.